Hey everyone, and welcome. Have you ever wondered what it takes to be a real life explorer, someone who's ready for any adventure? Well, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to unlock all the secrets to becoming a smart and safe explorer so you can have an amazing time and be prepared for, well, anything.
So, are you ready for an adventure? Because here's the thing. Being safe isn't about limits or being told no. It's actually the key that unlocks the confidence to go out and explore all the amazing things the world has to offer. I mean, think about it. The world we live in is just incredible, right? It's absolutely full of opportunities to learn, to grow, and to become smarter and stronger. Every single new experience is a chance to learn something awesome. So where does a smart explorer even begin? Well, just like any great adventurer, you start by studying the map. So let's map out the terrain together and take a look at some of the challenges we might face on our adventures. Okay, first up on our map, something we all see every single day: traffic hazards. Busy roads can be pretty dangerous, especially if there aren't great sidewalks or maybe when drivers are just in a big hurry. Being aware of this is really the first big step to staying safe. All right, next point on our map is stranger danger. And this isn't about being scared of every new person you meet. Not at all. It's about being smart. It's about knowing that not everyone has good intentions, and it is totally okay to be cautious and to trust your gut feelings. Of course, adventures these days aren't just in the outside world, are they? A lot of them happen online, and that's why our map absolutely has to include cybersecurity. Using our phones and computers safely is a really important skill, kind of like another role we all know. And this is a perfect way to think about it. You know how in the real world you're always told to look both ways before you cross the street? Well, online, it's the same exact idea. Think before you click or share. It's the same powerful principle. Just pause, think, and then act with caution. And the last challenge we're going to put on our map for now is bullying. This is basically when someone is mean to another person on purpose to hurt their feelings or their body. And a really key thing to remember here is that bullying can happen anywhere, at school, outside, or even on the internet. Understanding what it is helps all of us stand up against it. Okay, so we've mapped out the terrain. We know the challenges. What's next? Well, now it's time to build our safety toolkit. Every explorer knows that having the right tools is what gives you the confidence to face any situation that comes your way. And here's something super important to remember. Safety is totally a team sport. You are not on this adventure alone. Your parents, your teachers, your neighbors, they're all on your team, working together to help keep you safe. I really like this idea right here. A lot of the time, accidents can be avoided just by being careful and alert. Seriously, just being aware of what's going on around you is one of the most powerful tools you can have in your safety toolkit. So how do we actually do that? How do we put this awareness into practice? It really just comes down to building some good habits. Like, pay attention to what's happening around you. Trust your instincts if a situation feels a little off. Follow the rules of the road, and definitely try to put your phone away when you're walking. These simple habits can make a huge difference. Let's zoom in on road safety for a second with these 4 super simple rules. Okay, number 1, stick to the sidewalk or footpath. Number 2, use a crosswalk whenever you can. 3, wait for the traffic to come to a complete stop before you cross. And 4, never, ever try to get on or off a moving bus. Easy to remember, right? And so important. Now, this next one is like a superpower that every single person should have: knowing the emergency number. In a lot of places, it's 911, but make sure you ask your family what the right number is where you live. Knowing who to call when you need help can make all the difference in the world. And maybe the most powerful tool in your entire toolkit, it's your voice. It is 100% okay to feel scared or upset sometimes. In fact, the bravest thing you can possibly do is to speak up and tell a trusted adult when something just doesn't feel right. All right, time for a little what would you do scenario. Imagine you're walking home and you suddenly realize you're lost. What are the safe choices you could make? Just take a second and think about it. Did you think about maybe finding a public place with lots of people, like a library or a store, or maybe asking a police officer for help? These are the moments where your smart explorer skills really shine. Every great explorer knows that adventures can sometimes come with a few little bumps and scrapes along the way. And that's exactly why it's so smart to have a first aid kit in your pack. So, what exactly is first aid? Well, it's pretty simple.
It's the very first help you give to someone who's sick or hurt, before a doctor can get there. It's all about learning some simple skills that can make a really big difference in an emergency, and sometimes even save a life.
So what kind of stuff is actually in a first aid kit? Well, you've got all the essentials, like Band-Aids for small cuts, antiseptic wipes to clean everything out, and gauze pads for bigger scrapes. You'll also find some really useful tools in there, like scissors, tweezers, and even a thermometer. But listen, here is the #1 most important rule of first aid for any young explorer. Always, always get a grown-up's help. That first aid kit is for emergencies, and an adult is going to know exactly how to use everything inside it the right way.
So let's recap. You've mapped the terrain, you've built your toolkit, and you've even packed your first aid kit. You are now totally equipped to become a safety expert on every single adventure you take. Your journey as a smart explorer is really just getting started.
Because really, at the end of the day, that's what this is all about, right? It's about working together and staying alert so we can help create a world where everyone gets to grow up happy, healthy, and safe. That's a goal we can all share, and it's an adventure we can all be a part of. Okay, before we wrap this up, I've got one last challenge for you. What's one new safety tip you learned today that you can go and share with a friend or a family member? Because the best explorers don't just learn new things, they share their knowledge to help keep everyone safe. Thanks so much for joining us on this adventure, and always remember to stay curious.